He needs to take his right leg.
He's got it.
Wow. No way! Jack Hermansson with another submission.
He's a scary man when he wins a fight, isn't he?
Everything I do in my life is working for this goal to become the best in the world.
Out of Oslo, Norway, Jack the Joker Hermansson.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered.
Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier.
I'm made for a fucking podcast. We're dangerous. Listen to me, we're at it.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered. We have Steve-O coming in a little bit. We have Jack Hermansson on the show today, but most importantly, my pal Matt, First Class Sarah, as I like to call him, is back.
I don't know if you've seen the video of my seat, Jimmy.
I did.
Oh, Jimmy, it doesn't get much better than that. I had a nice little slice of heaven in the sky. We had, it's like your own little cubby hole,
Yeah.
And you could just watch movies. You turn it all the way down to a bed, take a nap. I'll tell you right now, after 15 hours on the plane, you think I'd be like, get me off. No. It's like I hit the snooze alarm. I lay back down. I get up. It was fun, Jimmy. I don't know why I was worried. Why was I worried?
Well, because you're a humble guy. You don't understand your status because you're a humble guy.
Yes. I don't understand sometimes that I'm a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I have to drill it into your head, and you forget the Frank Trigg knockout, but I don't like to let you forget that.
Yeah, I know. You bring it up once in a blue moon, and the fact that I won the Ultimate Fighter and I was a champion in the UFC has nothing to do with, me being humble.
That's right.
But I am a humble guy. And I was in Abu Dhabi, Jimmy, and I was there like a week more than I had to be. Did you know that?
No, I knew you stayed. Why did you stay? Just to relax?
It was so wacky, Jimmy, on the way over there. So we got tested, right? When we got to Vegas, we got tested, myself, Dean Thomas, and what other fighters before we get on a charter plane to Abu Dhabi. And Mr. Dean Thomas, unfortunately, got the COVID. And he looked fine, too. He's all good.
Yeah.
And so that bummed me out. And Dean was in the Holiday Inn, that shitty Holiday Inn for like 10 days. I felt bad for him. So we had to go without him. So we went to Abu Dhabi. And on the plane, some of the people wanted, the flight attendants wanted a picture with some of the fighters. So they brought us to the front of the plane. It was myself, Michael Bisping, Jared Flash Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
And, they took a picture with us, and then when we landed, I get a call from Dana. And he goes, yo. He's like, we might be fucked. He goes, look. He goes, that Jared, when we touch down at Abu Dhabi, you test again, right? For the COVID.
Yeah.
And it said he was positive. And meanwhile, we're taking a picture with him. He didn't have the mask on. And it came back, long story short. So we had to get quarantined another 48 hours. And, I must have took like 5 or 6 COVID tests when I was over there.
Sure.
But he had a false positive. I guess that shit happens sometimes.
His corner too, right? Was it his corner too?
His corner didn't make it. He had to have a whole other corner in there.
Right, okay.
Paul Felder actually.
Paul Felder, right, left his duty.
Announcing booth to go help him out. And he did good. Congrats to Jared on the win, and congrats on the false positive.
Yes.
So it threw us off with the shooting. So we had to shoot, a little bit later, and I had to stay a little bit later. But hey, man, it's all good. Before we talk to Steve-O, who's going to join us in a second.
Yeah.
Did you watch Dana White looking forward to a fight with myself and Michael Bisping?
I didn't know about it. No, because I texted you and I didn't hear back.
Okay. All right. I'll pretend like it doesn't hurt.
No, but
I'll pretend like you support me through everything.
I will definitely watch.
It's like 17 minutes, Jimmy.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, I got to do shoot fucking TBS and do movies and shit. Don't get too big for me, Jimmy.
Never.
I'm sorry, buddy. Listen, so anyway, it was, I'll tell you, the show's getting a lot of positive. People were enjoying it.
Good.
And they loved Michael Bisping on there. And we had a blast, dude. We did pearl diving. We did fucking rock climbing. I'm going to keep you in suspense to tell you. I'm not going to tell you.
I'll watch it. I will absolutely watch
I
it.
want you to watch it, and we'll pick this up on Wednesday. And I want to know
Yes,
what you
I will watch it.
I bet you Steve-O watched it.
Is that the dog? You've told the story about finding that dog outside. Is that the same dog?
Yeah, I found her in the streets of Peru.
Really? Let me see that. That's a nice looking dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had her with me when I was with you guys in New York. Travel with her everywhere.
Well, tell us that story? What's your dog's name?
It's Wendy.
Wendy.
And I was in Peru with Chuck Liddell. We were taping a reality show where we learned how to mountain climb. And this involved being up in a base camp in the mountains for like 3 weeks. And my first thought was to find a street dog to bring up to the mountains and to sort of have at the base camp. And
that was your first thought.
That's great.
Well, yeah, I mean, I love dogs, man. Like everywhere I go, I always just like take the street dogs. And Wendy, she followed me around everywhere. There were actually a few days before we went up to the base camp. And so I found Wendy on the first day. I tried to bring her into my hotel, but they weren't having it. They busted me trying to smuggle her in. And they said that she was under no circumstances allowed in the hotel. So I slept with her in a tent outside the hotel for my first like 5 nights in Peru. And we've been inseparable ever since. She's the greatest dog ever. Best for.
What kind of dog is she?
She's a Belgian Malinois mix.
Oh, I was going to guess that.
Yeah, I thought German Shepherd. Well, and aren't you scared? Like, I love dogs, but you're not scared of a stray dog. Like you weren't scared like that that they might snap or
No, she's just so mellow. She's been this mellow ever since I found her. And I got her. I took her to the vet the day after I found her, and I got her all her shots and everything. And that's been almost 3 years now.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Steve-O, I seen something on the computer there with you getting attacked by Holly Holm. What was I watching? Was that a while ago?
It was pretty recent, actually. That was just a few weeks ago. And the story was that Jon Jones reached out to me about getting together to do his care project, which is sort of an outreach effort to help in various ways in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I just thought this would be great. So here, this RV that I have and I use as a podcast studio, we drove it out to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we got into all kinds of stuff with Jon Jones. We went to Jackson Wink, and I sparred with Holly Holm. Jon Jones, I sparred with Jon Jones at his house.
I hope you took it easy on them. They're professionals, and you don't want to hurt them for their job, you know.
I know. They got off pretty easy.
So go ahead.
It's I mean, dude, we went to a skate park. Here's where them getting hurt. Jon Jones, we're at the skate park. We're giving out these care packages to homeless people at this park, and there's a skate park right next door. I grab my board and I start doing tricks in the skate park. Jon Jones goes to grab my skateboard, and I'm thinking, oh no, because he's trying to ride down ramps and stuff. He doesn't know what he's doing. I'm thinking this is like this could be a career-ending injury for the greatest mixed martial artist of all time. And I'm going to be responsible because it's my board he's grabbing. But he didn't even care. He went, dude, he almost got legitimately hurt, but he didn't. And then we went from there to, I used to live in Albuquerque, which is why Jon thought of me. And whenever I've gone to Albuquerque, he's come to my shows. It's great. Like he's a real buddy. And I lived in Albuquerque back in the 90s, 1996. I did my first ever, it was a 3-story building, and I did a front flip off of the roof, landing in 5 feet of water. And when I went back a few weeks ago, I thought, dude, I wonder if I could still do that. Like go to the same building. And I'm 6 feet tall. This pool is 5 feet deep. I'm doing a front flip off the roof of a 3-story building it's just not safe. I did it almost 25 years ago, and with Jon Jones there, Jon Jones was flying the drone, getting this killer drone shot, and his professional photographer Will Fox shot this killer photo sequence. And yeah, I pulled off the stunt. It was terrifying, every bit as terrifying as it was 25 years ago. And what's notable about it is that I took this photo sequence, right? The photographer made it into one frame. So it's just one picture of the building, but there were like 8 of me doing the flip off the roof,
nice.
you know, one of those one frame sequences. And I got 1,500 prints of that photo sequence printed, signed every single one of them, and sold them on my website for $25 a piece, and donated 100% of the proceeds to the food bank in Albuquerque.
Oh, that's nice.
This is so cool. Yeah, I went back to Albuquerque to do this crazy stunt in Albuquerque, and then and sort of feed people in Albuquerque as well. So yeah, that was the. And then on the last night, after we taped my podcast with Jon Jones, we continued the effort to give me cauliflower ear. which is this absurd thing I've been working on. I started with Chuck Liddell, then Ronda Rousey, then Jorge Masvidal, and finally Jon Jones. Jon Jones took his current light heavyweight championship belt, laid it on top of my ear, and just went after it with a hammer. And like actually lost a chunk of my ear.
Really?
Just a little one, yeah. It was hanging off. We cut it off with scissors. Jon kept part of my ear.
Can we see your ear? Can we see?
Yeah, you see, after all this effort, it seems that I'm just not, I'm one of these people that doesn't get cauliflower ear.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
It's,
some guys just don't get it, right?
Yeah.
So, some guys just don't get it, and it's not for a lack of effort, that's for sure. God, the amount of things that I've done with all of these people, all of these legends, in all these creative ways, I really, really have tried hard to get it.
Do you train too? Sorry, man. You said you went to Jackson Wink and you got to spar with John and Holly. Do you train?
Not in an MMA sense at all. I mean, I'm an active guy. I ride my bicycle. I love to surf, skateboard, and all that stuff. But yeah, no part of me is a fighter. I'm just a diehard fight fan.
You know, with the whole cauliflower ear, it's weird that you want it. Why do you want the cauliflower ear?
This is with Dana White asked me that question, and I told him, because when a man has cauliflower ear, he gets respect.
Yeah, I mean, well, shit, man, just fucking, it's weird, though, because, I mean, the cauliflower ear, you got to kind of earn. You can't, otherwise, you just look like another fucking, you'll be like a douche with one of those affliction shirts being like, respect me, I'm a fighter, and you're not.
That's what Joe Rogan told me.
Oh, there you go.
He was opposed to the idea of me trying to get cauliflower ear, and you know, I think it's for a lot of people I would agree with you, but for me, being a dipshit jackass guy trying to get cauliflower ear at the hands of legitimate MMA legends, I think I give myself a pass for that. But you know, moot point because it didn't work.
Well, I give you a pass on that too. Speaking of your jackass friends, I'll tell you, who would have guessed that you might be doing the best out of everybody? Are you talking to any of those guys anymore or no?
Sure. And here, I'll tell you what, man, we started filming Jackass 4.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
which is just, it's so surprising to me that now, as some of us are actually in our 50s now. I just turned 46, and it's pretty mind-boggling that at this age that we would be doing it. But hey, you know, it's all good. We got off to a great start. We filmed 1 week. Everything we did worked magnificently well. We were fucking killing it. And a week into the production, coronavirus shut us down.
Shit, man. So when this thing finally does pass, are you guys going to resume? And
that is the idea. Yeah, apparently Paramount Pictures is just doing cartwheels over how great the footage we've been getting is. And they even moved our release date to July 2nd. The July 4th weekend is apparently like the biggest movie theater weekend of the year.
Yeah.
And that's how much they love our shit. So if we can just get over this stupid virus, then
shit, man, you're telling me.
Now here I'll tell you now, and thank you for your kind words. I appreciate you saying that I'm doing well. I really do. And I have an exciting thing. I have not announced this publicly at all in any way.
Oh shit! Breaking news!
Finally, we never get breaking news. We're very happy.
This is a big ass deal, man, and I'm so excited because I've been working on this project for the longest time. It's my new comedy special, which like as I was putting together my new act, my new hour. Right. One night I was doing my stand-up and I thought, shit, all of these stories that I'm telling, these crazy stories that I'm telling in this act, they all happened on camera. So what if I tape the special and edit the footage of the stories I'm telling into the stand-up so it's fully multimedia? And my head exploded. I started taping all my shows and cutting it all together. And then I started doing more crazy stunts to load it up with all brand new shit. And then I got the whole Jackass cast together for the first time since we lost Ryan Dunn. And these fucking guys duct taped me to the side of a billboard truck and then drove me down the highway 200 fucking miles. Dude, like it's the craziest fucking project that I have ever made. It is still not public, but I'm gonna give you guys and everybody watching this the secret. My website is stevo.com, but this lives at stevotv.com. You can go to it right now. Just you have to be 18 years old. You've got to confirm that when it is, am I 18? Because it's a real dick fest.
Yeah. Jimmy's in. You had Jimmy at Dick Fest. You should have started it with Dick Fest, Jimmy.
I mean, like one of the bits that I did for this special, the premise was that I think since women can just paint their boobs and go walking around like it's no big deal, that I should be able to paint my dick and do whatever I want. So I put together this cyclist suit, this hardcore cyclist suit with all the spandex, but I just painted on the shorts. Went out on my 10-speed bicycle like a real hardcore cyclist, just fucking crashing this bike in front of dudes on the sidewalk. So like they see this crash and they come over to help me out and reach their hand out to help me up. And I'm laying there with my schlong, and it's one of the fucking funniest things I ever did, man.
Did they notice you at all, Steve? Did anybody go and be like, it's the fucking Jackass guy, Steve-O?
A couple of them did, yeah. But 100% of them noticed that was my dick just flopping it right there. I mean, it worked so well, dude.
Steve-O, I don't want to interrupt you, but
of course.
Myself, in that situation, just to make sure you're well, like you represent yourself well, did you pop like a Blue Chew or something? Right,
No, I didn't. And here's the tragic truth, right? I didn't even plan it this way, but the bike that I was going out to ride was blue and black, and this shirt my biker shirt was blue, and like I painted the shorts on with black paint, right? And I mean I looked like a real fucking coordinated, like a guy takes biking really seriously, and yes. I was so proud. I'm so proud of the look of me all done up. So before we went to go film the bit, my girl took a photo of me hoisting up the bike, and I texted it to Johnny Knoxville. Motherfucker writes back, "That's the smallest black dick I've ever seen." And I didn't even plan it that. Like I didn't even fucking think about it. I was like, oh, dude, I walked right into that one. And so now, and to answer your question, no, I didn't look good.
No,
I didn't.
that's all right though. It sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah, well, thanks, dude. Dude, just the trailer alone is. Dude, I had the worst injury that I ever had in my whole fucking life taping this comedy special. It's such a equal parts like Jackass movie and stand-up special and like fucking crazy documentary. I ended up with skin grafts on 15% of my body from shooting the final scene.
Really? Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
Steve,
what was it, road rash or something? Road rash?
No, burns. The final bit was blowing up my living room with me in it. And
shit,
yeah, it was really gnarly.
Now, I thought you got into the stand-up to try to save yourself from this shit and get away from it a little bit or have a safer path. No?
You would think, you know, you would think, but in my view, I'm just such an attention whore. At my core, I'm such an attention whore, and I just want to entertain people as much as I possibly can. So, like, what I've just done is just brought all of my worlds into one explosive fucking format, and I love it, dude. I love it so much.
Now the stand-up, and you're enjoying the stand-up also, correct?
Sure. Yeah, I've been doing it for over 10 years now.
Oh, wow, man. Now, so you got into it around 36 or so. So I want to know, Jimmy, Jimmy's, a stand-up forever. Sometimes I feel like, because I remember, like, I heard, like, John Lovett's got into stand-up really late, and I hear people kind of, like, talking about him, like, he got into it when he was older, almost like shitting on him for that. Jimmy, as a stand-up, it feels like the guys that really put their time in it, and when people come into it late in the game, not a snobbiness, but a little bit of a, look at this guy trying to, not about Steve-O, but I'm saying I just want to on Lovitz. I heard people talking about him. Like, what is that with comics?
Comedians, it's like anything else. Like Steve's a guy who's a funny dude, so it's not surprising. Yeah. And like you're somebody that entertain, like comedians find you entertaining and funny, so it's not a weird leap for Steve-O to do stand-up, and he's good at it. So when you see a guy who's good at it and who's funny, no one resents that, or no one minds a guy doing one thing first, because what he did is far crazier than what any of us do. So it's almost like we can't say like, oh, he's just trying to say stand-up is an easier thing than the craziness he was doing. So it's different when there's an actor who gets into it and sucks. Then comics tend to be real douchey about it. And I'm not just saying this because you're my friend either, but a guy like Steve-O, comedians have no issue with because he's funny.
Because I also heard the guy from Entourage did it, and he, what's his name?
Jeremy Piven. I haven't seen his stand-up. I don't know if he's good or not. He might be good. I don't know.
I think I heard that he was reasonably good at it. But I'm not sure. And again, I want to say thanks to both of you guys, and Jim being so kind to me, and Matt being so gentle. Like, I think the reality is that there are some types of people in the world who are threatened by they don't have an attitude of abundance, and they think, oh, this fucking guy's coming in, he's gonna, I don't know, some people, they want to hold you back, and some people don't. I personally just think that if I had done badly, then I wouldn't have lasted. I wouldn't have been consistently touring and building a career in stand-up if I hadn't earned it. But so some people aren't rooting for you, and some people are. That's the truth, I think, in any industry and anything that you're doing. And fuck them, man.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah.
Shit, man. Hey, man, Jack, first of all, congratulations on a phenomenal win.
Thank you so much, man.
I mean, that was beautiful heel hook, one after the other from half guard. And I mean, it was the first time we've seen a heel hook in ages in the UFC, I'm going to say. You know, is that a move you get off a lot in practice?
Yeah, all the time, man. It's one of my go-to moves, actually. But, you know, I don't end up so much on bottom in my fight, so people hasn't seen it yet.
Well, they've seen it now. And you mentioned something after the fight, how Kelvin like kind of tripods. Is that right? And that's
Yeah, exactly. He tripods, and that leaves him open for that.
so you went over that scenario before the fight.
Yeah,
And he tripods.
yeah, definitely. Several times the same week, and so we prepare for that.
Did you feel the ankle pop?
Oh yeah, man! It was like it was extremely nasty. You know, I cranked, and then I adjusted, and I went down a little bit more with the foot, and then it was the knee actually, just like horrible sound. So I'm 100% sure the ligament snapped right off the leg there. And then I was just like, oh, isn't it happening? And then the tap came. So
did you find it strange fighting in such a, because I just left, I was in Abu Dhabi just a few days before that. And it's so quiet in there, and it affects different fighters. It affects fighters differently. How did you feel fighting in that quiet environment? It's a little freaky.
No, it felt pretty good actually, and I was so in my own zone. But when I walked out of the octagon, I started to fist bumping all the guys that were working there because there were no crowd to fist bump. So
was it strange hearing this? Because a lot of guys have said that the sounds, like hearing the announcers or hearing guys in the other corner, for them is difficult. How did you handle that, or how long did it take to adjust to that, the sounds that you're hearing?
I felt good. It's more like a sparring session, you know, quiet and nice. So I didn't mind actually. I felt pretty comfortable with that scenario, fighting in silence.
Were you paranoid at all? Like, you know, nervous about the virus and the virus testing, or are you a guy who kind of takes it as it comes, or are you a little concerned about the germs and getting sick?
No, I like the opposite. It felt like so safe. With the whole thing that UFC had us going through, I knew that there is probably no safer place in the world right now than on Fight Island.
Yeah, I mean they're testing people, and Matt, who was it that had the false positives? Jared Gordon.
Jared Gordon had the false positive. Yes.
Yeah.
So it does make you feel good when you get to Vegas, you test, and then you get on a chartered plane. And you know everybody's been tested. It does make you feel more at ease, right, Jack?
It absolutely does. 6 times, 2 quarantines. Yes. It's just like and you knew that everybody that you are surrounded with has gone through the same process. So I felt safe for sure.
Yeah, so, dude. Hey, I just wanted to say what's up to Jack, man. How's it going, dude? Steve-O.
Steve-O, my man. How's it going?
Yeah, you know Steve-O from Jackass fame? Do you know Steve?
Oh, yeah.
Watch Jackass?
Oh, I watched Jackass so much, man, through the years. I'm a big fan.
Hey, congratulations, dude. I think that, you know, when the guys are asking you, were you nervous about getting sick? I would think about it. The real question, were you nervous that you wouldn't be allowed into Fight Island because maybe you had this sickness and you didn't even know it, you know?
Exactly, you know. That could have been something, but I didn't think too much of it. I felt healthy and well, but you never know if it's gonna show up positive. So when the first test went through negative, I was happy with that, and then I could relax.
And where did you train?
I trained in Oslo. We did a lot of outdoors training, and we worked the way around it because our gym was closed.
Your interview after the heel hook, and congratulations, like, dude, Gastelum's a tough dude to take out, let alone in the first minute like that. But during your interview after the fight, you had mapped out Whitaker and Till, and then the winner of that with Adesanya and Costa. Like, you've really thought about your path to the belt, and it was fun to watch you explain that.
Thank you.
So how many fights do you have to win to be the champion?
Probably just like if everything works out, it's just gonna be 2 fights, man. Because the other guys has to kind of figure it out, and then I'm gonna fight the winner between Whitaker and Till, and then I'm gonna just stand there in the queue and be ready.
How do you see that fight playing out with Whitaker and Till?
Interesting one. It's gonna be a close one. Both are great stand-up fighters. Till a little bit more, precise, and he's kind of stalking his opponents down into his range. Whittaker, he's blitzing a little bit more of the karate style and with longer combinations. It's going to be a great fight, but I give a small edge to Whittaker. He has been the champ, and he's great. So I believe that he might win.
And you said that when you fight for the belt, it will be Paulo Costa. You think his pressure will be too much for Adesanya? You don't think he'll be able to stay away long enough to survive the fight?
Yeah, that's what I feel, that he's just going to go straight forward and just pour it on him, basically. And you never know, Adesanya might clip him on the way in and end that fight as well. But something is telling me that Costa is gonna pull that one off.
Do you think people underestimate Adesanya's power because he's got so much finesse and style? For some reason, he dropped Brunson and what he did to Whittaker. I think people tend to underestimate his power and think that he's more just a finesse guy. I'm not saying you do, but I mean, do you think that people in general underestimate his strength?
Yeah, maybe. It's I don't know, man. I think Adesanya gets enough creds. I can see though that people is not having the same opinion like me. There's not many people that believe that Costa is going to take him, and I feel like he has a big chance to do that. Actually, it's going to be interesting to see how Adesanya responds to that pressure.
It's got to feel.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it's got to feel good, man, because you took out I was there for the Jacare fight, and how he got out of that guillotine is beyond me. I mean, that was sick. Your guillotines are one of the best in the business. I mean, you have such success with that. That's why I was just so shocked when I saw that heel hook. I go, man, you're not a one-trick pony when it comes to jiu-jitsu, man. And I almost want to ask, what other submissions are your go-to? But I think we're gonna have to wait and see for that. I'd imagine. Right?
Definitely. I'm not gonna tell you now, but you wait and see. And I promise you, I have more in store for those guys.
Because I mean, like I said, you took out Jacare, you took out David Branch, who's a buddy of mine who's very good in jiu-jitsu, and then we had the one slip up with Jared Cannonier. And it's got to feel so good. See, I know what it's like to come back after one loss, even two losses.
Yeah.
Any pressure coming in knowing that you just had a loss and to get that monkey off your back?
Kind of, but I always put the same pressure on myself, to reach to that goal there. And I feel it's the same every time, man. It's just so much pressure all the time. And I felt it, but you just have to overcome.
With jiu-jitsu, you train strictly no gi, or you ever mess around with the gi?
No, strictly no gi. I wore the gi once. So
just once?
It's just no gi training, yeah.
Okay, and what belt do you now?
I don't have any belt, man. I'm white belt.
You're a white belt. You're a dangerous effing white belt, I'll tell you that. Imagine that guy jumps into class for the first time. I'm a white belt. Jared.
I don't have a strike yet.
Fucking Jack. Unbelievable, man.
Do you think Kelvin seems to have a little trouble at middleweight? Do you think it's just the size difference with the guys? He's had a bit of a harder time. Is it? I'm wondering what that is, because he's such a great fighter, but he hasn't looked great in the last couple.
But saying that, you have to just rewind 2 fights. He fought Adesanya. He almost won that fight. It wasn't like just one time in the fight. He almost, he owned parts of that fight. So he's for sure one of the best middleweights out there. It's just like everybody's so good, and I think it's just the matchups. So I wouldn't say that the size is a big problem for Kelvin. I think it's the styles that makes the fights. And
it was a split decision to Till as well. So it wasn't. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't exactly it wasn't a beating. But I'm always interested when somebody switches weight classes and then they seem to have a bit of a harder time if there's a reason for it. Yeah. The thing is that of course he has smaller body, but I think he missed weight once in middleweight as well. So he probably packs a little bit of weight. I believe.
He's got my problem. He's a fatty.
Yeah.
So what is
yeah, I was gonna say, what do you do next? What's next? Because you obviously you didn't take any real damage at all, so you're ready to go. Which I know it's gotta be the best kind of win for you guys, is where it's done. You had a great camp and you win and you take no damage, and now you're ready for the next fight.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna have my eyes on that fight next weekend and see how it goes between Whitaker and Till, and then I'm just gonna stay in shape and stay ready.
All right, Jack. Well, we really enjoy watching you, and it's nice to see you get things back in the win column. And you definitely, I think your plan is pretty good, and hopefully you'll be fighting for a belt, within a year.
Thank you so much, guys.
Jack, I think, Jack, I think Jack is even more intimidating when he's celebrating his victories. He's like, oh!
I can't hold it back.
Hey, it's crazy.
There's nothing like it. I love it.
I notice guys celebrate crazy like that. When fights end faster, it seems like there's just so much more energy you had to give that they have to get it out. You don't see guys doing that usually after a 5-round split decision slugfest. It's usually after a win like that.
Yeah, after 5 rounds, we won't have the energy, man.
Well done. Congratulations, man. You look great, and we hope to talk to you again soon. It's always fun watching you.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you soon, man.
Take care, buddy.
Take care, Jack. Yeah, that's shocking that he's a white belt. That's crazy. To take out Gastelum as a white belt, that is incredibly that's incredible.
Without a gi, he's a black belt. I mean, the stuff he's pulling off is not just, and first of all, what a technician, man. I mean, that was pinpoint. And I liked hearing him talk about how, Kelvin gets like into a tripod, so he leaves himself open for the leg locks. And, that wasn't just throwing out something, hoping it lasts. Oh, by the way, what's that girl fight? Let me look it up now. They're 2 Brazilian girls. And it was the knee bar when, I want to get it right here. It was Ariane Lipski. She took out Luana Carolina with a knee bar at 1:28. Now, did you see this on the prelims? Was that a prelim? No, it wasn't a prelim. It was on the main
fight. Yeah,
it was on the main card. Oh my God, how beautiful! What's the name? Carolina was going for a calf slice. You know what a calf slice is, Jimmy?
No.
When the legs in the middle of the leg and it's bent and it feels like it's gonna pop your knee off. But what the fuck? I'm going to make sure it's Ariane. Am I saying her name right? Ariane, right? Lipski. Ariane Lipski. Jimmy, she's sitting on her, and her one leg's a little bit in jeopardy, but the free leg of Carolina, she got a straight – I never seen a knee bar done like this in the UFC because she didn't lay down with it. She stayed on her. She kept it locked up, and she just wrenched that thing where – her Carolina, her opponent, just let out a scream. It was so nasty. It was so gnarly, yet so beautiful. I as a jiu-jitsu guy, I was just like, fuck, that was awesome.
So why is that one harder, Matt? The one you just described, why is that harder than the way it's typically done?
Well, it's more unusual the way it was, where Carolina was going for the calf slice, and she was doing it. It was weird the way she got it. It was a little unusual, but I'm like, oh, that girl's leg's in jeopardy. But Ariane was sitting on her backwards, facing her legs. Her one leg is tied up, and the other leg was free. So she just grabbed it. Normally, you lay down with it. She's just stayed sitting on her, but the leg was already straight. She secured the foot, so now the leg is extended. Anything else is going to be hyperextension. Her pelvis was right on the kneecap. So she was sitting on her, and you see her just put her pelvis forward, and she leans back, and instant scream. Steve-O, did you see it?
I think I actually – I don't know. It was quick, huh? Because I watched the whole –
You taking your Peru dog for a walk during that fight? What are you doing? It's a good fight, Steve-O. You got to watch that thing.
I'm sure I did, but I just for some reason –
You didn't see it. You did not see it because you would not have forgotten it. It's that fucking good.
Right. All right.
Yeah, Stevie, I'm not yelling at you, Steve-O. I'm just, I get excited. I get excited.
He's very
No,
passionate.
I love it. I love it. And I never miss a fight, so I'm sure I did see it. But,
Well,
man, the Jackass fight was the fight of the night. Like, that guy Figueiredo, I remember the hell out of that. Like,
I'm looking for that one now. Which one?
That was right before Gastelum Hermansson.
right, yeah. That was
yes. Oh, that was a fun fight.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Rafael Figueiredo. Figueiredo? Am I saying it right?
Figueiredo.
What? Right. I'll tell you, Steve-O, it's not my.
I never help him.
He doesn't help me. He likes to see me.
I never help him.
Struggle. But yeah, listen. First of all, great fights. The list. I mean, I seen 2 cards when I was there, so they're all blending into one right now of all the fights. But what great fight cards!
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know where to start. You want to talk about this card?
By the way, I want to before I forget too, because we had Jimmy Rivera. Looked great against yeah, I was really happy for Jimmy against Cody Stamen. That was a great fight, and maybe just remind me of it because we were talking about the leg, the heel hook on Gastelum. But I love anything with legs are my favorite things in UFC to watch. Leg
You're a
kicks.
leg man.
I just love watching it because
I'm an ass man.
you can say that again.
Such a bully.
Jon Jones, one time in studio, I never had anything as crazy as a hammer, but I would get them to do stuff like little moves. And so John one time gave me a knee in my thigh just to see what that felt, or a shin in my thigh. And it shocked my system so much, I almost threw up. Like it was such an incredibly painful thing. I got a buzz in my head. I thought I was going to pass out. So any type of leg stuff, I've always loved ever since that because I realized how much it fucking hurts. And it doesn't look like it hurts, but it really hurts whenever they have leg damage.
And guys, I felt bad for Benavidez, man.
Oh my God.
That was a rough one, man. And there was a picture of his wife.
I know.
Megan O'Leary. They're such a nice couple.
Yeah, we like Megan a lot.
Outside the cage. She was outside the cage, like on the apron there, like trying to see to him. And it was a cute picture because they're very, very, very nice couple.
Yeah.
We had them both on here before.
He's a very tough guy too. I mean, I thought he was going to survive that round. At first, I was shocked that he got back out. Like the fact that he survived that initial shot was a miracle. And then I'm like, I think he's going to actually make it through. And then Figueiredo just got on top of him again. And,
Figueiredo's a problem, man. He's a problem.
Yeah, he really is.
Accurate, powerful hands, world-class jiu-jitsu. I mean, Joe B wasn't in that fight at all. It's upsetting.
Right.
It's upsetting because he's such a nice guy.
The 3 times he got knocked down were all like identical too. Yes. You know, like it was pretty incredible the way like he got back up each time, and it just looked so similar.
You know what was fucking awkward, Steve-O and Jimmy? It was when the fight ended, and Joe's on the they stood him down on the stool. So Figueiredo went over to give him some respect, and then just got on his knees and just sort of like kind of like getting emotional in front of him. And Joe's just sitting there like, come on, man. Fucking, can you do that somewhere else? Joe's like, really? I feel like I should be crying too, motherfucker. So I felt bad for Joe. It's almost like, what do you want him to do?
What do you want from me?
What do you want? Really? What do you want from me? You want me to? Oh,
I guess that for you guys, that's got to be such an adrenaline dump of some sort. Like whatever it is that because again, I've never fought too. It's got to be such an emotional. Like again, like Hermansson letting that out. Like with these guys, there's so much. If you have 50 gallons of what you need and you are done in 3 gallons, you have 47 gallons that has to come out somehow. That's got to go somewhere.
It's not so much the energy that's that.
Or the emotion.
This is what I'll tell you. It's the emotion.
Yeah.
Both, like 2 of the ones like that come to mind are like is the St. Pierre fight and what's the other one?
Frank Trigg.
Oh yeah, it was Trigg.
Frank Trigg.
When I knocked him out cold.
Yes,
but listen, I'll talk about the Trigg one for a change. I remember when I connected with him and he went down. Steve, we bring this up once in a while.
Occasionally, I have to twist his arm. I'm like, come on, Matt, just a second.
I get embarrassed talking about it. UFC 109 on Fight Pass if you want to watch it. But when I knocked him down and I got on top of him, and I seen his chin there, and it was almost like, you ever see like RoboCop when he looks through the RoboCop thing and he goes ding, 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 and it like zooms in on the targets. So I saw his chin, and I remember just blasting him until the ref jumps in. Now look, that was the first round. When they break it up, and you talked about how about when you were asking Jack, you know, you were so amped up afterwards, and I don't really see fighters after a 5-round decision amped up. This is what I feel for me. After a 5-round decision, even though if you won and you're happy, that's one thing. But you know it's over. Like when you're in the middle of this, and like when I had Frank hurt and I jumped on him, when that ref jumped in, it's a relief. It's of like, okay, he can't hurt me no more. This is done. It's over. They can't restart this shit. Thank God. You're almost like, thanking God this is over. That's like, because you're in such a, you listen, it's the hurt business. So if he survives the onslaught, he could get up and try to hurt you again. I know it's very simple, but that's your mindset of, I have to end this threat. So when that threat is ended, yes, you're happy you won, but you're like, fuck yeah, it's good. It's done. It's over. Put the stamp on it. You know what I mean? So you're just so amped up that you took care of business. It's over. You spent the last 2 to 3 months with this guy's fucking face on your refrigerator. And I had Frank Trigg, so that helped my diet also. So, hey, you guys are the comedians, cocksuckers. I just throw some shit out there. But listen, all I know is that's the relief that's what you're sensing or that's at least from my point of view of the guy that was in there. It's like, good, it's over. No backsies. I win. Yeah. Boom. So done. You know, that's the adrenaline you're feeling. You know what I mean? Well,
Steve, I'm so happy to see you and happy to see you, Matt. Where can people hear your podcast too, Steve? Because I know you're an extremely entertaining human being.
Well, thank you so much, man. It's Steve-O's Wild Ride podcast. It lives on YouTube and then the audio version everywhere podcasts are available. And I got to just say it again, man, this new comedy special with the multimedia and all the crazy gnarly shit going on. It's called Gnarly. You can find it at stevotv.com. That's STEVEO TV.com.
What's Wild Ride?
His podcast.
I do it in a van. You see, when I decided to get on the podcast bandwagon, I figured, man, you know, like personally, when people say, will you do my podcast, tends to be the most annoying question ever. And I thought, now if I'm going to be fucking asking people, will you do my podcast, let me at least be able to drive the studio over to them to make it convenient, you know, like wherever, whenever is most easy for my guests. And yeah, I'm in my RV right now. It's the wild ride, dude, and I cruise it on over and you know, fucking we do the podcast.
How is it, like, how long do you stay in that RV? Like, you live there for like a bit? Like, when you go?
I mean, it depends. Like, it depends. I love being in it. You know, just you know,
comfortable.
Yeah, I spent 3 nights, you know, down in San Diego, like a few nights ago. Like it switches from a podcast studio to a living room, and man, I've been pretty fortunate, man, with my guests. I've had Shaq, I had Dana White, Demi Lovato, Tony Hawk, Ronda Rousey, Jon Jones. Tiffany Haddish is a big one. Super psyched on that. Dr. Drew. So yeah, I've been really doing pretty well with it. You know, getting big guests and good numbers, and yeah, life is good, man.
Awesome, Steve.
Awesome, dude. Well, I'm happy for you, buddy. I'm happy you look really well, and I'm very happy for you that life is so good. You're a good guy, man. I'm happy for you.
Hey, likewise, man. Thank you. Sobriety's a good deal, huh?
Yeah, it really is.
For
the only way to go.
For some. No.
Yeah. Not for everyone.
Hey, I don't believe in any drugs. I do the marijuana.
Matt does drugs. Yeah, Matt does drugs.
Oh, no. I do have arthritis, but you wouldn't know that if you saw me climbing the wall. Hey, Steve-O, did you see Dana White looking forward to a fight?
With Mike Bisping in the air tunnel?
Yes. You have to watch that.
Yeah, I mean, I said they played clips of it during the main card.
I know, but I wasn't in those clips. You have to watch the one I'm in.
Okay. Yeah, and I saw I saw an Instagram post. You and I have the same Fight Island shirt, the Miami Vice looking style one.
It's fucking nice, isn't it?
It's a cool shirt,
nice.
man. It's a cool shirt. I'm jealous.
Nah, me and you get hooked up with that shit. Somebody doesn't, but I'm gonna put the word in. So
please do.
I'm gonna
just mention it.
Order some mediums for my Jimmy Bird.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, dude. Man, it's such a pleasure talking to you guys, man.
You too, pal.
Such a fan of the UFC, such a fan of you both. And yeah, man. Hell yeah, dudes.
Come on again soon, bro.
We'll talk to you soon, Steve. All right.
Yeah. Hey, man. I'm. Anytime you guys want to reach out, I'm always thrilled to come on, man. And I really appreciate it.
Awesome,
right,
Steve-O.
Take care, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, Steve-O.
All right.
It's a pleasure, Steve.
A great guy. I love Steve.
And I'm happy he's doing well, because if you looked at that show back when it was going, you're like, all right, if you had to pick one guy that's just not going to probably make it, you'd probably pick Steve-O, because he was so out of control, so nutty. But I'm happy to see him doing well. And Jimmy, I didn't say it earlier, but I'm going to say it now. Happy belated birthday, brother.
Thank you, buddy.
You know what I mean?
Thank you very much.
I mean, I wasn't around, or I would have wished you a happy birthday.
Yeah, it's okay.
But I'm doing it now.
Thanks, pal.
Let me tell you, 49 never looked better. Look at you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Jimmy, I'm right behind you anyway. All right, Jimmy, so we're on for Wednesday.
We sure are.
We're going to delve into some of these fights that we did not get to talk about yet.
Yes, we will.
You know what I mean? Because I don't want those people thinking, well, you're not talking about my fight. We mentioned a little bit. We talked a little bit about Jimmy Rivera.
Yeah.
He's your sensei.
I love him.
He was happy to see me out there. I was happy to see him.
Yeah.
I was on the plane ride with Cody Stamen coming back. Another nice kid, you know. Spoke about how he maybe shouldn't have took another fight so soon at the
Yeah, that was a little soon, sure.
We're going to keep the audience in suspense, and we're going to give them all those juicy little tidbits on Wednesday's show.
You got it, buddy.
Jimmy, I'll talk to you then, brother.
See you in a couple days.
Goodbye, Unfiltered Army.
Goodbye.